Hello everyone, my name is Harjit Kaur. I am working as assistant professor in computer science and application department. My university is Santwa Park Singh University and my co-authors are Dr. Umesh, Sehgal and Mr. Munish Sharma. I am going to give presentation on security threats analysis with measures on network. These are the contents which we are going to share in this presentation. First one is introduction about the topic, then top attacks that network. Third one is network security techniques. Fourth one conclusion. After that references. Our first topic is that I am going to present is introduction. In this highly crowded world, the use of internet increases day by day. So, lot of data has transferred from one place to another with the help of internet. There are some confidential data that has been also transferred to internet. To provide security to that data, some security measures should be introduced to that data because there are a lot of threats that our data is facing day by day. There are mainly two types of threats that are faced by our data. First one is active attacks and second one is passive attack. This diagram depicts the type of attacks that our data faces. Our first type of attack is active attack. In active attack, the intruder hacks the data and change the contents of the data. Our active attacks is further divided into various parts. First one is masquerade. In this type of attack, the false identity is taken by the intruder in order to take the access of the data. Our second type of active attack is DOS, that is denial of services. In denial of service attack, intruder restricts the data to be transmitted to the original destination. Our next type of attack is replay. In this type of attack, the data is delayed or repeated in between the transmission of data to the destination. Our last type of active attack is modification. In this, intruder changes the contents of the data. Talking about second type of attack, our second type of attack is passive attack. That is, in this, the contents of messages are silently read by the intruder without letting it to be informed to sender and receiver. This passive attack is further divided into two types. First one is release of message content. In this, the intruder simply heard or read the content of the message sent by the sender. Our second type of attack, passive attack, is traffic analysis. In this, a type of attack, the pattern of messages is observed by the intruder. This table depicts the difference between the active and passive threats. First one is active attacks. In active attacks, the intruder takes the connection and changes the content of the message that I have already said. In passive attacks, in this the intruder silently observes the pattern and read the data. Next difference is that in active threats, the content of data is modified, but in passive threats, the content does not modify, but the intruder silently read the data. Third one is in active attacks, system is always damaged by the intruder, but in passive attacks, system is not damaged by the intruder. Fourth one is in active attacks, availability and integrity of data is generally harmed, but in passive attacks, confidentiality of the data is lost. Fifth one is in active attacks, the sender and receiver are aware that someone is using or reading their data, but in passive attacks, the sender and receiver are not aware that their data is read by the third person. We are talking about the last differences. In active threats, the intruder focus on detecting, but in passive threats, we focus on preventing the attacks. This diagram shows that which type of attacks is take place generally. First one, there is 36% of attacks takes place on browser, then 19% of attack takes place on brute force, and 16% of attacks takes place on denial of services, and rest of the others attack that has been given by the intruder to the data. Now talking about the network security techniques. First technique that is provided by the researchers to secure the data is cryptography. In cryptography, it is a technique that is used to provide security to the data that is transmitted on the transmission medium. This word cryptography is derived from Greek word crypto, in which means that data hidden, and graphy, which means writing. So simply we said that in cryptography the data is hidden in such a way that the intruder cannot understand the content of the data. This is a general diagram that shows how cryptography works. In this, sender first send their data, and that data is converted into some another form that is called cipher form, and this data is converted into cipher text with the help of encryption key. After that, cipher text is sent to the receiver. At receiver end, the receiver has a description algorithm or description key with the help of which the receiver gets the original data. Talking about type of crypto system, there are two types of cryptography. First one is asymmetric cryptography, and second one is symmetric cryptography. In asymmetric cryptography, there are different types of keys are used at sender and receiver side, whereas in symmetric cryptography only one key is shared between sender and receiver. Another technique that is used to secure our data is steganography. Steganography, it is a technique in which data is hidden inside the other medium. The data is hidden in such a way that the intruder will not able to detect that the data is hidden in such a medium. A text data can be hidden in images, audio and videos. Similarly, an image can be hidden in text, audio or videos, etc. This steganography word is also derived from Greek word stegnos, which means cover, and graphy means writing. There are the following terms like file cover, stego analysis, stego medium, embedded message. These are used in steganography. First one is file cover. This term is used for the file of any medium in which data is hidden. Second one is stag analysis. Stag analysis, the term is used to analyze the data which is covered in the other medium. Stag medium, this term is used to tell the medium in which data is hidden. Embedded message, this term is used to represent data that is covered inside the file. This is a diagram. Types of steganography. The following are the types of steganography. First one is text steganography, image steganography, audio steganography. In text steganography, the text data is hidden inside the text, whereas in image steganography, any kind of data is hidden inside the image. In audio steganography, the confidential data is hidden inside the audio, whereas in video steganography, the information which we want to hide is hidden inside the video. These are some of the differences between cryptography and steganography. First one, in cryptography, the sending data is converted into another form that is called cybertext, whereas in steganography, the data is hidden in another medium. Second difference is that in cryptography, it grabs the attention of the intruder, whereas in steganography, the attention of the intruder is not grabbed. Third one, the cryptography technique is less secure than the steganography. After that, the attackers that attacked on these kind of techniques is called cryptanalysis in cryptography and stag analysis in steganography. Talking about the popularity, steganography is less popular as compared to cryptography. Now we move to the last topic of this presentation, that is conclusion. From above, we can conclude that the steganography is more secure form of network security as compared to cryptography, because steganography does not grab the attention of the intruder, which is done in cryptography. Thank you.